G'day guys, welcome back to The Leading Edge. My name's Rod for those that don't know. Here we are back at home base today. I also run Rodney Denholm Photography, and I'm big into my cameras and all the rest of it. I like the Nikon base set, and the cameras have always been good. Basically this video today, I was after a video to help me set up my my remote, the ML-L3 from Nikon, as you can see. And there wasn't any videos per se on YouTube for the D7500, which is the camera that I'm running. So what I did, I looked up a different video for a slightly different camera a couple of models ago, and just, you know, basically to see if the same settings might work on the D7500. So without further ado, let's get the remote out, and we'll be back with you shortly. Okay guys, we are back, and as you can see, we have the little Nikon ML-L3 remote here. It is the legit one. Obviously the autofocus on this phone doesn't like really doing what it's supposed to do, but you get the general idea. It is the legit Nikon remote, and I did have, as I said earlier, some problems setting it up on my D7500. So we looked up a video from Dan's Digital, so a big shout out to Dan's Digital on YouTube for your settings from the D7100, because they did work on the D7500. So without further ado, let's go and show you this this camera setup and where you can find your settings for the remote in question. Okay, so we're just uncovering my camera here, because I keep my camera uncovered just because there is a lot of dust in this property. So basically we'll bring it over here, and that, don't know why the camera itself is on, so I'll just flick it on. Okay, so we've got some power. Okay, so this is the D7100. Now, for your remote to work, your ML-L3 remote to work on the D7500, you need to have your camera up here. You need to have it set to CH. When I'm shooting most of my photos, I have it set to S. So that was why I couldn't get the remote to work. So I followed Dan's settings for the D7100, and I set it to CH. You also need to have your camera set to manual. So you've got to make sure you set it up to manual for the shutter remote to work. You then need to go to your camera's settings, and you need to firstly scroll up to your camera settings, and you need to scroll down to where it says remote control mode ML-L3. Alright, now keep in mind, every time, unfortunately it's something Nikon has not done correctly or whatever, every time you turn your camera off, you've got, if you're going to use your remote, you've got to come back and you've got to return this on, because it automatically turns off when you shut your camera off. Okay, so you need to switch that before it goes off to quick response remote, right, which is what I've done there. Then you get back out of here, you go to your camera settings, and there is a setting, I'm trying to think where it was it here or was it somewhere else? Might have been actually somewhere else. Oh, pencil, that's what it is. Okay, so you got to go to the pencil. That's what, you know, nice and easy to remember. So you scroll over here. No, and you scroll down to timers, AE lock. Okay, so you go from down here, and you need to go remote duration. Set it to 15 minutes. Because if you don't set it to 15 minutes, well, it's up to you, personal preference, I guess, whether you have it on for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even 1 minute, depending on how long you want to do your exposures for and all the rest of it, because you're, if you're doing an exposure for, say, 14 minutes and 30 seconds, and you only have your, your timer, your remote duration set to a minute, it's not going to work for you. Right, so set it up to 15 minutes. That's the maximum that the camera allows. And then you can get out of that. Now, from what I know here, obviously my settings are set up to take photos of my computer tower, pretty much. Alright, so that's nice and bright because I had it set up for a dark room earlier. Okay, but as you can see, pushing the button, it doesn't look the remote. I didn't I guess this can double up as a review. I didn't like the fact that you've got to actually hold this wireless thing and point it directly at the camera. Most wireless devices these days, you don't even have to point it at your camera, or your whatever you're using with it. But it only works on certain angles. Like, it doesn't work on every angle. I'm holding it about a meter back, so I'm gonna go back to here. I'm gonna stand about a couple of meters away, or a meter and a half. It works from there, but I'm holding it sort of like right near the phone. Okay, so just so you know, it works from here. The distance on, if you've got a line of sight with your remote, it works from a long way away, which is good. But you've got to have it on certain angles, and you've got to have the wireless infrared ray, which is in the end of the camera there, in line of sight of your camera at all times. If you don't, it will not work. See, I'm pointing it away now, and it doesn't work. All right, so you've got to have line of sight with your remote. So pretty much that's the tutorial, guys. I hope that helps anyone that has the D7500. Fantastic camera, by the way. If you haven't got one, go pick one up. It's fantastic. For, photographers who are looking at getting into photography. There's a lot of different cameras, but I prefer these. They're a nice, I reckon they're a nice camera. So pretty much that's it for me today. Stay safe out there. God bless you all, and I'll catch you guys again soon here on The Leading Edge.